You already know that when you find an equivalent fraction with a larger denominator, it's called expanding the fraction. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to find an equivalent fraction with a smaller denominator. This is called reducing the fraction. For example, suppose we want to find a fraction that's equivalent to 6/8 but has a denominator of 4. We can do this using the number line. First, we find 6/8 on the number line. There are 8 parts in each whole unit, and 6 parts are counted. So this fraction represents 6/8 on the number line. Since we want our equivalent fraction to have a denominator of 4, we want each whole unit to have 4 parts instead of 8. We'll show this on another number line, like this. Each unit is divided into 4 parts. When we compare the number line, we see that each fourth here is the same size as 2/8 here. So each fourth of a unit represents 2/8 of a unit. Now let's look at the parts that are counted in the fraction 6/8. When we show the same fraction on the line for fourths, we have only 3 total parts representing the fraction. Since there are half as many parts in each whole, there are half as many parts counted. In other words, we have divided the numerator and denominator of our original fraction by the same number. In this case, we divided by 2. This gives us 4 in the denominator and 3 in the numerator. Since the point on the number line is the same after dividing by 2, the fractions are equivalent. So 6/8 can be reduced and rewritten as the equivalent fraction 3/4. Now let's look at an example without using the number line. In this case, we want to reduce the fraction 9/15 by writing it with a denominator of 5. First, we want to determine which number we need to divide the original denominator 15 by to get the new denominator 5. We know that 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we also divide the numerator by 3 to get an equivalent fraction. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So the fraction 9/15 can be rewritten as the equivalent fraction 3/5. In this case, we say that the fraction 9/15 is reduced to 3/5. The number represented by the fraction is still the same, but the numerator and denominator are both smaller numbers. One last example. Here, we want to reduce 3/12 to an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 4. First, we find the number we need to divide 12 by to get 4. We know that 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we divide the numerator by 3 also. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So the numerator of the reduced fraction is 1. The fraction 3/12 is reduced to the equivalent fraction 1/4. In the remainder of this lesson, you'll practice reducing fractions like these.